Greetings and salutations. My name is Chance Kelly. This is video Ghoulash. It's Halloween 2026 candle season. How do you know? Because South of Sanity dropped their line back on July 17th. That is the official start of Halloween candle season for me. How about you? We got a lot to go over. Let's get into it. The 2026 line is made up of Stingy Jack, Taro, Soul Cake, Raven's Hollow, Purple Pumpkin, Marshmallow Pumpkin, Guising, Crop Circle, Autumn Storm, and Passive Aggressive Pumpkin. What makes these feel special, this line, which I'll say too is one of Virgil's strongest lines that he's ever done, is that it's not approaching Halloween from like a commercial standpoint or a collection of like generic symbols. This is going back to a language, an old language, an ancient language, an All Hallows Samhain language. This is a collection that is striving for those wandering souls, the graveyards, the embers, the soul cakes, right? The smoke, the harvest fruits, making you feel that night, that one time where the boundary is thin between the living and the dead. Virgil really took some cues from not just Halloween as a modern commercial season, but he wanted this to smell like the folklore that Halloween originated from. And that's one of the coolest things about this line. So I think we should kick off with probably the clearest example of what I'm talking about. Stingy Jack. The notes are toasted jack-o'-lantern lid, charcoal embers, wood fire, and hickory smoke. Stingy Jack is an old Irish legend, and it's where the jack-o'-lantern, the modern day jack-o'-lantern, this is the roots. You want to know why a jack-o'-lantern exists? Go read the legend of Stingy Jack. What an amazing fragrance this is. This thing is incredible. This is one of those ones that you cannot miss out on. The toasted jack-o'-lantern lid, that scorched gourd, that's the first thing I get. Then I get those charcoal embers, the wood fire. So this is really an authentic scent. It smells like you're outdoors. You've got a fire roaring. You've got all those embers going, and the hickory smoke is there. You definitely get that hickory in it, wafting around, which is just a really kind of rural note that roots this thing even further, I think, in a feeling of old and ancient and old school. And you know that moment where your jack-o'-lantern has been burning for a really long time, that moment really late at night when the trick-or-treaters are gone, the witching hour is more near at hand, and you go outside and you have a look at your jack-o'-lantern. I still do my jack-o'-lantern with candles. I don't do, the LED lights. And you grab the lid off of it, and you see the burnt and that smell that comes out of it. This nails that. Nails it. But also has like a bonfire kind of a feel that's going on with it. Yeah, how Halloween is that? But the toasted jack-o'-lantern lid, the scorched gourd, I almost feel like I even smell like pumpkin seeds in there. Yeah. Stingy Jack, an absolute beast of a scent. This gets a ghoul. Yeah, I'm kicking off that way. Spooky. Yeah, this is a 5 on the spooky meter, and it is a 5 also as a seasonal concept. This is a 5 on the Halloween meter. Stingy Jack, you can't miss out on this one. Go grab that. Next up, let's get into Taro. The notes on Taro are vintage books, sweet red licorice, and soft woods. Taro. Another really, really cool fragrance. It reminds me a little bit of Yankees Mystical Taro, just a touch. I get that vintage books fragrance first, and this is not leather, this is paper. This is old paper, dusty paper, and even a little bit of that new paper smell. That's the vintage books fragrance note. It does smell like old books and new books kind of together, like when you waft the paper. And then you got that awesome sweet red licorice, like red vines. I don't know what the note is in that. I want to say like red vines is like cherry. But it's red licorice that has the licorice, the waxy feel, the hint of the fruit. But that's melded really well with a soft wood smell. And I'm not, I don't know what soft woods is. I just know that it gives you that wood vibe, like kind of an outdoors vibe, actually. So this, it's a very, I don't know, man. It's a transportative, mystical, kind of esoteric feel to tarot. Awesome feel, and something about the red vine, the sweet red licorice in it or whatever. It makes it feel very seasonally appropriate. So Halloween, I'm going to give this sucker a 4. I would melt this year round, though, just for the vibes. Yeah, just for the vintage book and the weird esoteric kind of strange vibe. But it does root itself in Halloween with the candy note in there. Is it spooky? Yeah, I think it's a little creepy. I would shoot this a 3. It's really pleasant. I'll say that too. Burning it, it's, all of Virgil's fragrances have throw. I don't get into throw anymore. I don't rate throw. It seems to be different for everybody and what people smell. But bottom line, it throws. It's a subtle, soft type of fragrance, but you're going to smell it. You're not going to not know that it's there. Tarot's awesome. Absolute cool. You want old All Hallows tradition? How about Soul Cake? Now, this is based on a traditional soul cake recipe, the old soul cake recipe. This has got notes of pastry, raisins, and autumn spices. So the traditional recipe for a soul cake is much more bready. Things are just so over-sugared here in this day and age, especially in the U.S. This is an old recipe. This is like old bread and a wood fire. Gorgeous raisin note. The raisin is in the back. That bread note is out front, I would say. And then, the bread with the autumn spices, and then the raisin is in the back, giving it just that gooey kind of rooted sweetness that raisins have. This is an incredible fragrance. I love this thing. It's one of those rare gourmands that can really pull you somewhere. You smell this and you're instantly in autumn. You're instantly in Halloween. Soul cake is a very old traditional thing where it was a cake that you would bake for people, like prayers offered for the dead, a type of remembrance. And that's a really cool thematic. It's the reason that this scent was brought to life by Virgil. Again, that hook into the tradition of All Hallows. Yeah, it's awesome. What can I tell you? It's fantastic. It's got a solid throw. Is it seasonal? Yeah, I'm going to give that a 5 for Halloween seasonal vibes. Is it spooky? For me, it's not spooky at all. It's a gourmand, but it still has that connection to Halloween. And I'm automatically in this mindset of, kind of dank, dark autumn, like surrounding. Doesn't smell like that. It smells like a soul cake, but it puts me there. And for that, I give it a 1. Yeah, this is a great one. Soul cake. Any of the gourmand lovers out there too? That is your go-to, soul cake. Since I just rocked a full-on gourmand, let's rock a full-on outdoor scent. Autumn Storm. The notes on this are autumn petrichor, wet leaves, damp tree bark, and autumn air. I have a very personal connection to this fragrance, the reason it was developed. Virgil developed this for myself and Jen. And this is one of those scents that it's absolutely incredible. So the notes, if you're afraid of petrichor, don't worry about it. It's not like a strong note in here. This is very fresh smelling. This smells to me, first out of the gate, you're going to get the wet leaves and the autumn air. Chilly, wet. The petrichor's in the back. It's sort of floating back there, giving you that feel of a thunderstorm. You can hear the thunder rumbling in the distance. And the damp tree bark is very light, very subtle. It's just a thing that kind of roots this thing, gives it a very natural kind of a smell. Roots it into that earthen note. But it's not very strong. This is mostly autumn air and wet leaves. And a rumination, an aromatic rumination on imagining yourself in the northeastern hill country, maybe on one of those back roads, black, wet asphalt, damp, storm in the distance, thunder rolling, gorgeous autumn leaves all around you, up in like Vermont or upstate New York, somewhere like that. That is what Autumn Storm is all about. So is it Halloween centric? Is it seasonally appropriate? Yeah, that's a 5 for that. It is a autumn fragrance at 100%. Is it spooky? It's really pleasant. For me, it's calming and relaxing, like fresh air out on maybe a mountainside in the hill country with all of those leaves and everything. So it's not real spooky for me, but it might be that way for people that the environment has that effect, that kind of dark environment. So I would give that a 2 on the spooky score. But again, it's really pleasant. If you like outdoor scents that smell natural and real, Autumn Storm, wet, dark fragrance, beautiful leaf scent, gorgeous leaf scents, very pleasant fragrance. And I'm gonna give it a ghoul. This thing's incredible. I love the environment that it evokes. I love this fragrance. Virgil, you're a sorcerer. You know that. You're a friggin' wizard. I don't know how you did this, but it's beautiful, and I love it. Marshmallow Pumpkin. What a rad label. That is a kick-ass label. The notes on Marshmallow Pumpkin are toasted marshmallow and toasted pumpkin spice. You want some pumpkin and marshmallow? You want that outdoor, got a campfire going and I'm got a marshmallow burning over the fire? I wouldn't even say burning. You're just cooking it. That marshmallow note is awesome. The toasted kind of feel to this thing is it's not super smoky at all. If you don't like smoky scents, you'll still like this. This is more like you can feel the warmth of the fire and the chill around you. But you're going to get that marshmallow and those spices, man, that pumpkin spice. And this is a beautiful pumpkin spice scent, you know, the nutmeg and the cinnamon and clove and that mix of things that's in pumpkin spice. Man, it's incredible. With the marshmallow, it doesn't sound like that complex, right? Toasted marshmallow, toasted pumpkin spice. But it smells complex for some reason. I don't know why. And it's such an evocative scent. I love this fragrance. If you love pumpkin scents, gourmands, marshmallow, and you want a touch of that fire in the background that you're cooking your marshmallow over, this is your jam. It throws, it's strong, it's awesome. How Halloween is it? You know, do you cook s'mores on Halloween? I do. You got the pumpkin, so it's jack-o'-lantern and like a s'more with no chocolate, right? With chocolate or graham cracker, but it just reminds me of that. And so, how Halloween is it? It's a 5. That's a 5 on the All Hallows scale. Is it spooky? No, it's not spooky. It's a gorgeous pumpkin. What a great pumpkin! It's like almost like fresh pumpkin puree and softened with pumpkin spice and maybe some vanilla or something that's making it fluffy and delicious. You know, mallow. What a great fragrance! Marshmallow pumpkin. Radical. I mean, since we're talking pumpkins, right? Let's get into purple pumpkin. All right, so the notes on purple pumpkin are pumpkin, blackberry, and a hint of anise. This is Virgil's take on Scentsy's fairy tale pumpkin, which if you haven't smelled that is incredible. Virgil's version of it it's better. It's more authentic. The blackberry note, I mean, like, as soon as I smell this, the blackberry and pumpkin meld together so perfectly. The anise, if you're not big on, like, black licorice or anise, I don't think you're going to be turned off by this at all. It's such a subtle thing that's kind of in the back. You get it if you like black licorice, you get it. But if you're not someone that, like, likes black licorice or smells it often, you might not even know it's there. You're going to get a lot of the blackberry. There's plum. There's a plum note in here. You know, the juicy, dark part of the plum. That's sweet, but also I would say, it's like thick. It's thick and resinous. The blackberry's kind of at the top. You know, that's what gives it its sharp. It's sweet, but not overly sweet. I'm trying to describe it as best I can for anyone that hasn't smelled fairy tale pumpkin. But purple pumpkin, it's up there with one of my very favorite fragrances of all time. When it comes to pumpkin fragrances, this is an awesome fragrance. I'm hoping we get all of the different pumpkin things. We had black pumpkin. Virgil did black pumpkin. South Sandy's Black Pumpkin's one of my favorite things ever. Purple pumpkin. I have a red pumpkin over here. I'm not going to talk about it, but I love it. And I'm convincing Virgil that he needs to put this out. So maybe 2027 you'll see that. But purple pumpkin's incredible. Halloween, yeah, it is a Halloween. It's a fall smelling fragrance, a very Halloween centric smelling fragrance. Again, I'll give it a 4 for that. It's also just fall. It almost smells like blackberry pie, pumpkin and blackberry pie. The pumpkin note is not like pumpkin pie, though. It's just a very real pumpkin, like pumpkin flesh. But the blackberry and the plum and the anise, that kind of makes it nice and gloopy. I love it. Purple pumpkin. Yeah, I'm going to give that a 4 on the Halloween scale. I'll give it as far as like a spook factor on it. It's got a little touch of menace to it to me because I don't know. The way that these fragrances, these notes blend together, I don't know, it brings me somewhere, so I think it's a 2 on the spooky scale. For some people, though, it's not going to bring them anywhere other than fall. This is a banger scent, and it brings fall to life for me and the Halloween season. Let's get into Crop Circle. Crop Circle is damp corn husk, hay, and damp earth. All you creepy scent lovers, this is for you. If this was called Haunted Corn Maze, yeah, Haunted Trail Ride, that would also be appropriate. It's such a spooky scent. It's very dark. It's got the earth, the wet, damp soil. I love the hay note in here. The hay note has like that old hay smell, that old dried hay in October, but it has a hit of like a fresh hay as well, which will have a little green in it, right? Like a touch. Oh man. Yeah. So the corn husk, I love a corn husk smell. The corn husk in here is awesome. If you've ever been in the Midwest and smelled corn husk, especially old corn husk around Halloween, because they harvest the corn before October generally, unless they're going to do like a corn maze or something. But corn is usually harvested in September. But this thing is such a creepy smell. If you liked Haunted House, if you like Kringle's Dungeon or 6 Feet Under, but yeah, if you're a fan of South Sanity's Haunted House or Dead Night Video, this is your jam. Crop Circle could have been called Haunted Corn Maze. This thing brings you right into a kind of a malevolent corn maze. Just imagine that you're lost at night and it's Halloween and you're in a corn maze and you're lost and something is coming after you and you don't know where you are or how to get away, how to get out of the maze. That's what this feels like to me. I love damp earth notes. I love things that root themselves in that. Again, the corn husk, the hay, it's incredible, man. It's incredible. It's very outdoors, very natural, raw smelling. There's nothing, inauthentic about these notes in here. So is it spooky? Heck yeah, it's spooky. Is it Halloween? Heck yeah, it's Halloween. 5, 5. 5 and 5. Crop Circle. You need to get this. It's badass. You want to see some awesome art? You want to see passive, aggressive pumpkin, hand-drawn by Virgil himself. Everyone that you get, hand-drawn by Virgil himself. Passive, aggressive pumpkin. The notes are pumpkin, patchouli, and autumn spices. So if you're a fan of like Bath and Body Works, they used to have a pumpkin patchouli. I don't know what they call it now. Farmhouse pumpkin, something like that. I don't know. But pumpkin patchouli, you'll love this. This is an awesome patchouli note with the autumn spices. And then, the whole thing's just carried by a pumpkin note that's like pumpkin flesh or fresh puree. Absolutely gorgeous. I love passive aggressive pumpkin. The way the patchouli works with the autumn spices is awesome. It really, I don't know, I think they bring the best out of each other. This patchouli it's kind of a soft patchouli. It's not like a dark patchouli. It's not a perfumey patchouli. But it is kind of a soft patchouli. You give those autumn spices with it though, and the meld with the pumpkin flesh. It creates one hell of a fragrance. passive-aggressive pumpkin. So is this seasonal? Again, this is going to get a 5. This will bring you right into fall. There's no question about it. The entire autumn season, passive-aggressive pumpkin going to bring you right there. Halloween-centric, well, you've got the pumpkin in there. I don't know. There's something about autumn spices and pumpkin, right? I mean, it's sort of the staple, right, of the season, besides like maybe an apple. Is it spooky though? Not for me. It's more just autumn. You know, it's just a full-on autumn scent. If you're not into like the real spooky stuff or whatever, you need to get this. Up next is a really special fragrance. It's one of those X Factor fragrances. Raven's Hollow. You're not going to smell anything like this out there. This South of Sanity banger is notes of Hollow's Fog, Raven's Feather Musk, Cedarwood Smoke. This one's a tough one to describe. It's a whole vibe. It's a very musky kind of a scent. You get to cedar and the musk, and this, it's a very foggy, vaporous kind of dry fragrance. So Hollow's Fog, Raven Feather Musk. You might ask what that is. That's the best way to describe the type of musk that's in here, like Raven's feathers, because it has kind of a hit to it, like a spicy hit to it, but more like a fleshy kind of a spice. I don't mean to make it sound gross. It's not gross at all. This is actually really, really pleasant. The cedarwood smoke is light. If you're not into smoky fragrances, that won't affect you here. It's just part of the whole ambiance of Raven's Hollow. It's fog, not like full-on fog machine. It's not sweet enough for full-on fog machine, but it has almost a fog machine note, just in the darker side. And for as dark as this sounds, like Raven's Feather Musk and stuff, this is actually an airy, aromatic kind of a fragrance. It's a tough one to describe. There's nothing out there like it, but I can tell you this. This feels like one of those really special fragrances that only comes along once so often. Definitely gets a ghoul. Raven's Hollow. I don't think you want to miss this one. This is an absolute monster of a fragrance by Virgil. Probably the centerpiece. Might be the centerpiece of the 2026 line. I do believe there will be candles of this coming. Virgil does have a candle drop coming in August. I'll get into that on another video. Raven's Hollow is amazing. What does it evoke? It evokes the dark season. Yeah, it evokes the dark season. Does it evoke Halloween? It evokes Halloween in its own very mysterious kind of a way. That, I don't know, that kind of mystical, dark vibe that you get on Halloween night. It evokes that. This is a conceptual thing. It's kind of a foggy, woody fragrance. Foggy, woody fragrance that is dry, but for however it does this, it holds that damp feel of autumn, of like the autumn air. But it reminds me of like old Halloween, ancient old Halloween. Like I went back in time and I'm experiencing this. And the nice smoke note on the end, it's very light, encapsulates it. Again, it's more ambiance than a smoke smell. But Raven's Hollow is a banger. Halloween, I'm going to give it a 5. I love this thing. Is it spooky? It is spooky. It's pleasant though, but it's really creepy. If you like your creepy fragrances that don't like lean into harsher notes, Raven's Hollow you're going to love. Really evocative, creepy. I'd give it a spook factor of 5. I think so. Yeah. Raven's Hollow is going to get a 5. And it gets a ghoul. Yeah, there's nothing like that. So, centerpiece maybe of 2026. Pick it up. You have to. You have to. If you're getting anything from this line, you got to get Raven's Hollow. And rounding the line out, my personal favorite. This is my favorite fragrance in this line. As amazing as this line is, Guising is my very favorite fragrance. What a cool idea. Guising. So the notes on this are Halloween makeup and Halloween mask. And I love that the vampire's on here because the first time I ever smelt anything like this was on Halloween. My very first costume, a vampire. What does Guising smell like? Guising smells like old waxy makeup. It smells like a little bit of latex mask in the back, like almost like that plastic too. The old Halloween costumes in the 80s, like the Ben Coopers and stuff, had that vinyl, plasticky thing. But this, first and foremost, is that waxy makeup and just kind of makeup in general. It's an interesting note. So Halloween makeup, Halloween latex mask. So first off, you're going to get that waxy, this is the cheap. You can go to the store, soon when Halloween stuff starts coming out. Buy, one of those kits. Those Halloween kits that they have on every Halloween aisle. That waxy, oily makeup that you smear on. If you're a theater kid, you know this smell. Incredible. So what is that really made of? Makeup. Makeup has like jasmine, can have rose, can have violet, but it's very powdery and powdery and sweet, but like in a waxy feel. And then there's this latex behind it. Latex is sweet. I love Halloween masks. I was a Halloween mask collector for a long time. I haven't been able to do that recently, but I will again, I'm sure. And latex has a sweet smell to it, but this friggin' fragrance will bring you back in time to the 80s. There's something so nostalgic about it. When you melt it, it blooms really pleasantly. You may not think, hey man, this is something that I want to have going, that I want to smell. You do. I promise you that you do. The concept is amazing, right? Like, we know Guising, trick-or-treating. That's what this is based on. Virgil, my hat is off to you. And that, Guising, this is my very favorite. So, is it Halloween? Yeah, it's Halloween at a 5. I'd give it a 6 if I could. Is it spooky? Reminds me of Halloween night. It's fun. Maybe a spook factor of like 2 or 3. We'll say, let's give it a 2. Because I just remember having so much fun on Halloween. And yeah, I was interlaced with some spooky stuff and haunted houses that you went to, the haunts you'd walk through and all that good stuff. And all of the memories of Halloween's past, out trick-or-treating, doing all those things. It brings all that back. So yeah, I'll give it a 3 on that spooky scale. But this absolutely gets a ghoul. Guising is my favorite in the 2026 line. You should really check this out. I will give this my video Ghoulash recommendation. If you're gonna branch out, you want to do something different that maybe you're not sure about, I bet you'll like this. I think anybody will like this. It's awesome. Amazing. Alright. That's all I'm gonna say. But Guising is badass. Probably now one of my very favorite Halloween fragrances of all time. Thanks for hanging with me. I got a lot of stuff coming up. I've got Spooky Soul Candle Company. Witch Knows is coming up with their stuff. Lunar Light Company's got stuff. Alex is going to be dropping stuff over there. We've got Brass Coffin. Oh man, Brass Coffin's got some killer stuff coming. And of course, South of Sanity has kicked it off. Candles coming in August for South of Sanity. So put these indie makers, these small batch companies at the top of your list. South of Sanity, Witch Knows Candle Company, Spooky Soul Candle Company, the Brass Coffin, Lunar Light Company. I know we're excited, the Bath and Body Works and the Yankee and Kringle and all of that. But put some of these guys on your list, these guys and gals on your list, and support your small batch candle companies out there. They are doing the coolest fragrances. I guarantee it. You're not going to get stuff from those big companies like you're going to get from these companies. That being said, you keep it creepy. I'll smell you later.